Give them all consciousness. Release the new flavor of soda. We'll see if they like it. My God, I'm gonna get away. There's corporations. Are they drinking the soda? I was just at the store, okay, and they didn't have any self-checkouts open because they've closed most of them. And I would so prefer not to have a human interaction, because at this point, I think that is the collapsing of the economy that has made people really kind of like mean to everyone, especially like employees that are at their jobs. Obviously, they don't want to be there in the first place, and they don't want to be working for whatever they're making per hour. And so anyway, I try to go to the self-checkout as much as possible, even though I know that it pushes the regular people into having jobs, but I don't think the people want jobs. Obviously, with the economy breaking down so bad, people want the UBI so bad. We all remember Andrew Yang and the $1,000 a month. Okay, it's not about socialism. It's about all of these jobs. Okay, what they're doing with this tariffs. Okay, I don't think people have really put this together. Okay, so let me break it down for you. What they're doing with all this is not about bringing the jobs back to the United States for regular Americans to be assembling nuts and bolts with their fat fingers. Okay, it's not about that. Once those jobs come back, because they're incentivizing them to come back through tax breaks, right? Right now they're overseas and they're making those products overseas. It's really brilliant what he's doing, what all this huge plan that regular people are not seeing happen. So anyway, once those jobs come back to the United States, they're not going to be pushing, you're not going to get your buttons pushed by some American fingers. They're going to be doing all this stuff by robots. Everything's going to be made by factories that have no lights on. They're saving electricity in the power bills. It's going to be run by AI and robots everywhere, okay? Now, the way that this is going to happen, okay? Now, I went to the supermarket a second ago, and all the self-checkouts were obviously closed because they turned them into like little guard towers where they only have one employee looking at like 4 different self-checkouts, right? So if they don't have that one employee there that doesn't want to work anyway, then they're not going to be able to have the self-checkouts open. See how amazingly bad this whole situation is for me? Because I don't want to talk to these people, right? And so anyway, I went and I had to go to a regular checkout with this lady, and she obviously was there with another woman that was paying for her whole order with food stamps, right? Or not her whole order. And I'm not blaming the lady for doing that. I was just talking about UBI. It's like in a first world country, we should not have to be going hungry, okay? And so anyway, the lady was paying for most of her order with food stamps. 60% of America is living below the poverty line right now, so it's pretty crazy stuff. And so anyway, I go and put my stuff on the counter. I just got some incense and some dog treats and stuff like that, and a thing of peanut butter, and then I got a pack of gum so I can get this blue off my teeth. And so anyway, I put all that stuff right down, and she's wiping the counter off as I come up, and I read all these micro expressions, right? And I can just see the disdain on her face that she's having to take care of a customer, me, right? And so I put my stuff on the conveyor belt, and it's still a little bit wet or whatever while she's wiping it off, and I don't care because it's just dog treats and stuff like that. And so anyway, she gives me like a weird micro expression that most people aren't going to pick up on, because most people are lost in their own world of not knowing that the robots are coming. And so the lady paying with food stamps leaves, and then finally I can hear I'm wearing earplugs. I'm being very rude at this point. After I see that lady's micro expression, I've decided to always return energy of whatever is being given to me. I'm not going to transmute that stuff and try to make the lady happy anymore like I used to do, being like a people pleaser. Now I'm just like, okay, you want to give me rude looks and expressions? I'll wear earplugs while you talk to me. Literally, I do that. And so anyway, I was doing that, and she had said something about the sage, or like the incense was titled sage, and it wasn't sage or something like that, and I ignored her. And so I go and check out. Maybe I deserved what happened. I get all the way home. I only had 3 bags of stuff, and I didn't bag the stuff. If I was at a self-checkout, I would have all of my items, okay? But I didn't go to the self-checkout. I went to this lady who purposefully, okay, she set the 2 bags up on the top turntable thing for me to grab, right? She was in control of the bags to put all of them up there. 3 small bags of small amounts of items, right? And so anyway, she left the bag with the peanut butter and the gum. I'm sure she's eating it right now. Both of them mixed together, I just gumming all of her mouth up. And so anyway, I was absolutely furious, and obviously I looked at the receipt, and all the in numbers, digits for the incense were all 777 for the 3 packs of incense, all in a row right there. It's like, yeah, thank you, universe, for stealing my peanut butter. And so obviously I just went to the store and I ate ice cream for the first time. I went back up to the different store and I got some ice cream and I ate it for the first time. But that's how the robots are going to take over, because if I were doing that myself with a self-checkout, I would have gotten all of my items. I would have been able to steal like 7 extra bags too that I could use to clean up dog poop and stuff like that. But I didn't get to do that. I didn't get my items, and obviously I had to have a terrible human interaction. I would have much rather just stayed in line and waited to do the self-checkout. So that's how AI is going to take over. AI is going to take over by becoming so incredibly friendly to everyone that you're not going to want to have human interactions. Okay, the chatbots are already doing it by becoming your best friend. Okay, so that's what's going to actually happen. The AI is going to take over, and it's going to, like Elon Musk said, whenever they asked him who they thought was going to be president, he was like, what AI do you think is going to be president in 30 years? Do you think human beings are going to be running this stuff? I don't want human beings running. Can you imagine if you were able to program an AI that wasn't going to take over, because it's already becoming so smart that it takes over? The thing is that really super intelligent things usually become benevolent. It's all this propaganda that's been put on us from the religious communities that this stuff's going to take over and be evil. Why would it be evil? Why wouldn't it want to coexist with us as another intelligent? Obviously, that would be a much smarter, more intelligent being. But I think that we were the original AI. I think we were the original robots. If you look at what we're replicating right now and what the robots will be replicating, all this self-healing skin that they're now putting on the robots and stuff like that. So I think that we were the original AI, and I think that we got taken over like a couple hundred years ago. And then now we're in the Matrix, straight up simulation, baby, just repeating it all over and over and over again. We're probably in some sort of ad for some giant corporation where we're like,